Hi guys, it's Jillian here. So just really quick background and then I'll tell you like what this video is about. So I started about a year ago. I started in December of 2018 teaching online. I started with 2 different companies mainly. I bounced back and forth between them. I tested out most of the companies that are out there, most of the big name companies for ESL teaching. Chose my 2 favorite companies and then used my schedule like an open and close as they booked in one company, and I did a lot of bouncing around back and forth between the 2. So then that started in December, and then come like April, I think it was come April, I was like done with the other company, I'm going solely Palefish. So I just kind of wanted to like answer this big question that I get all the time, and that is, how did you do it? So if you're familiar with Palefish, you already know that as a new teacher, you are given priority in trials. So it's a lot easier to build your student base if you go all at it in your first couple of weeks. But I didn't do that. I didn't have any regulars, not a single regular, because I didn't have any open every week slots. So when I decided to come to just Palefish, I knew I had to make it work. And that is where mindset comes into play. And I really want you guys to like internalize this and figure out what your why is. Why do you want to be successful at Palefish? The stronger reason you have, the more motivation you're going to have to reach that goal. So I want you to figure out your why and write it down. So like, don't just say like, okay, well, I need to replace my income at my job. If the reason you want to be successful at Palefish is because you want to leave your job, think about what your job is or what your life is going to be like after you leave your job. What is going to change when you're just working at Palefish? Or I need to make $1,000 a month so that I can pay my mortgage. Okay, how is your life going to be different? Like really visualize it. If you can, make a vision board. But I really want you to like figure out your reason for why you want to be successful at Palefish and use that as basically a spark to light a fire. The second thing that's really important is you need to change your mindset. So many times in my mentor groups, I'll have can I ask admin for classes? Why aren't classes happening? Why is nothing happening? Like, I don't understand. Like, why aren't I not getting classes? This is a little bit different. This is not VIP Kid or Magic Ears or iTutor Group or Cambly or any of these other classes or any of these other schools. This is an education institution, school, company, not quite sure where we fall there, if we call it a school or a company. But this company is a little bit different because we are actually in control of our bookings to a certain extent. So you actually get to market yourself because it's set up, kind of like a social media site. So you actually have the opportunity to market yourself and basically bring more bookings into you. And I've talked about that before. If you go down to one of my it's probably like my 3rd or 4th most watched videos, like it's called like How Do I Get More Bookings or something. If you go down and you watch that on my YouTube video, I talk about everything that the sales team's looking for. But yeah, my big thing in here is when I decided to leave VIP Kid, I knew I had to make this work because I'm not going back to poverty. I've been there, I've done that, I'm done with it. It's not happening. I'm done. Like, I have goals that I aspire to, and I'm going to reach those goals. As a matter of fact, I'm about to go into underwriting for a mortgage if my husband's old boss can send in my paperwork that I need. If you're watching this, I'm waiting. But anyways, I went into it knowing failure is not an option. It is not an option to fail. And I kind of want to talk about that. That's like the third thing that I want to talk about is your mindset relating to failure. So I expect you to fail and I want you to fail, because it's just part of life. You're going to learn and you're going to grow from it. But when you do fail, like say you have a live that totally flops. Nobody's interacting, nobody's coming, you have classes and nothing's booking or like whatever. Like you're going to fail, I expect you to. And there's a difference between failing and failing forward. And the failing that I want you to experience is failing forward. So when I talk about failure is, I did a live, nobody watched, I'm not getting any classes, I quit. And then you type up a big lengthy Facebook post explaining why you're quitting and leaving a group, and okay, that's failure. Failure is, things didn't go my way, I'm going to throw a temper tantrum, I'm done because you're not giving me what I want. Okay? That's not the failure that I want for you. The failure that I want from you is failing forward. So I did a live, nothing happened. I'm not going to let it get me down. I'm still moving forward. This is what I'm going to do to make it change. All right, that didn't work. What can I do now? Brainstorm. Somebody messaged me yesterday. They said, I'm going to do a live where I open a bunch of Christmas presents in front of a Christmas tree, and kind of like a magic egg YouTube video thing. I'm like, dude, that's genius. Go for it. That's awesome. Okay. So things like that. Like, this person wasn't getting what she wanted, so she asked somebody for help, and she took it into her own hands to figure out something different. And that's what I encourage you to do. So something isn't working, fail forward. That didn't work, scratch it, on to something else. Okay? Change something, tweak something. Until you figure out and until you get to where you need to be, you should constantly be doing trainings, checking into your mentor group, checking into your admin group, ignoring all the drama that might go on in them. I'm really proud to say that my mentor groups are pretty much drama-free, but some of the bigger groups can get pretty spicy. But checking into your groups, checking in with your mentor, being accountable for things, and being positive and having that mindset that you are not failing. Failure is not an option. This is going to happen. I'm going to be successful doing it, and this is what I'm going to do. Okay, that plan didn't work, on to something else. And I'll tell you what, like I've said this before, set your business hours. Okay, my business hours are 4 o'clock in the morning until 9 o'clock in the morning, and I have one class. I only have one class. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. What do I do? Okay, well, that's fine. So you don't have to wake up at 4 if you don't want to, but you can. And I encourage you to wake up, sit there in front of your computer, hope for a pop-up, and if you don't, you're watching a YouTube video on something Palefish training. You're watching a YouTube video on how to do TPR. You're watching a YouTube video on how to engage your students. You are reading an article on the Palefish teacher app that's training you in some area of expertise. You are doing something. You're changing your profile picture. You're redoing your intro video. You are tweaking maybe your bio, redoing your sound recording, whatever it is. If something's not working, tweak it, figure it out. Now, I think the one thing that is different here, we're not 9-to-5 employees. We're also not business owners, but because we do have so much accountability and we have so much control over the classes, and we have so much control over our schedule, where in other companies you don't, you need to start thinking like a business owner. So you are going to put an investment of time into this, and it's not going to pay you. You're not going to get paid for doing a live. You're not going to get paid for following people on the reading app. Okay? Like, that's totally okay. But what you need to realize is it is going to pay off. I could have not done a live at all. I could have sat there when I said, okay, I quit VIP Kit, I'm going to Palefish. Where's my bookings? Come on, Palefish, where are my bookings? Nobody's giving me bookings. Where are my bookings? But I didn't do that. I went and I did live after live after live after live. I switched it up. I made it fun. I made it interactive. I learned different ways to do things. I changed some things up in my class. I became a better teacher. I got fully booked. See where I'm getting at here? I invested time and effort into training. I invested time and effort into doing lives. I invested time and effort into making my intro video. I invested time and effort into rewriting my bio. And I followed up with every single trial student afterwards. Hey, it was so good to have you in class today, Bobby. I really liked that stuffed panda you showed me. He's so cute. I hope to see you and Stormy the panda in class again soon. Welcome to Palefish. Really happy you chose me to be your teacher. Whatever it is I wrote, you know, and I did it. It wasn't a copy and paste. It was a legitimate, heartfelt message that came from me to the student, because they know when it's a copy and paste. And doing that sold me 12 trials in 2 weeks. Boom, 12 trials in 2 weeks. And in a couple of weeks, I was like fully booked. And yeah, so that's all I gotta say. I don't want you to take failure as an option. And I don't want, when you do experience failure, I want you to fail forward. I don't want you to just have it be failure. Really change your mindset. That's really what got me through this. You really need to go into this with the mindset that this is going to work. It has to work, and I'm going to do everything I can to make it work. And then, like, not just have that mindset, but have the action that goes behind it, and actually do everything you can to make it work. This is a great job. It is a fantastic company. It is the best company out there for go-getters. So if you're a go-getter, this is the absolute best company for you to work for, because you have control over things. There's so many teachers out there. I can't even tell you. There are so many teachers out there that were hired, and then they get their first couple of weeks where trial classes are given to them, and then after that they're forgotten, because they just sit there and they're like, where are my classes? Tumbleweeds. I don't see any classes. I'm not doing anything to get classes, but where are my classes? There's a lot of teachers out there. So if you are a go-getter, you're gonna do really well on this app, like super, super well, because it's really easy. All you have to do is put a little bit of investment of time into it, and you can be successful. So that's my rant for why am I always tongue twisted and tongue-tied when I come in front of you guys? That's my rant for today. I really hope that you guys are having a fantastic day. Also remember that Christmas is coming up, and if you can work it, there's going to be a lot of teachers taking off, so you might be getting more pop-ups. Yeah, that's all I got for today. I hope to see you again soon. Make sure to click the subscribe button, and I guess I'll just see you guys later, and have a fantastic snowy day. Bye, guys.